Have you ever contemplated the enormous courage it took to sail into the unknown, as Columbus did in 1492? In the 15th century, a man named Christopher Columbus embarked on a daring voyage that would forever change the course of human history. Born in Genoa, Italy, Columbus was a mariner by trade, but he was also a dreamer, driven by a relentless quest for wealth and fame, and an insatiable curiosity about the world beyond the familiar shores of Europe. Columbus believed that he could reach the East Indies by sailing west, a radical idea at the time when most thought the earth was flat. He sought support from various European monarchs, but it was the Spanish crown that finally backed his ambitious project, spurred on by the prospect of new trade routes and the spread of Christianity. In August 1492, Columbus set sail with 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina, from the Spanish port of Palos. After a perilous journey across the Atlantic, they sighted land in October, an island in what we now know as the Bahamas. Columbus, however, believed he had reached Asia. The impact of Columbus's voyage was immediate and profound. It led to the Age of Exploration, a period of intense maritime discovery as European powers raced to claim new lands and resources. It also paved the way for the colonization of the Americas, a process that brought untold wealth to Europe, but also inflicted immeasurable suffering on indigenous populations. But perhaps the most significant consequence of Columbus's voyage was the way it expanded our understanding of the world. It challenged prevailing beliefs and opened up new possibilities, setting in motion a wave of intellectual and cultural change that would eventually give rise to the Renaissance and the Enlightenment. Columbus's voyage not only opened up new worlds but also set the stage for a period of rapid change and development. Following Columbus's voyage, a new era dawned in Europe known as the Renaissance. But was it truly a rebirth? Indeed it was. The Renaissance, spanning roughly from the 14th to 17th centuries, was a time of remarkable advancement in arts, sciences, and culture. This period witnessed the works of such luminaries as Leonardo da Vinci, a true Renaissance man, whose genius spanned multiple disciplines from painting to engineering. Then there was Michelangelo, whose masterpieces in sculpture and painting continue to captivate us to this day. But the Renaissance was not just about artistic expression, it was also a time of profound societal change. The Middle Ages' rigid structures began to crumble, making way for new ideas about individualism, humanism, and secularism. These shifts in thinking challenged the authority of the church and monarchy, shaking the very foundations of society. The Renaissance was indeed a rebirth, a period of enlightenment that challenged traditional norms and paved the way for modern society. With the flourishing of thoughts during the Renaissance, the stage was set for the Enlightenment. But how did this intellectual and philosophical movement change the world? The Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason, was a period of profound intellectual and philosophical development that took place roughly during the 17th and 18th centuries. This was a time when thinkers started to question the status quo and the authority of the church and the monarchy, leading to an explosion of new ideas and perspectives. Key philosophers of this era include the likes of John Locke, Immanuel Kant, and Voltaire, among others. Their ideas, based on reason, individualism, and skepticism, challenged the traditional norms and beliefs, paving the way for a new worldview. John Locke, for example, argued for the concept of tabula rasa, suggesting that humans are born as blank slates, and it's our experiences that shape us. This idea challenged the traditional belief in innate ideas and divine predestination, promoting the significance of education and environment. Immanuel Kant, another luminary, urged people to dare to know, and emphasized the importance of reason and critical thinking. His philosophy championed the idea of autonomy and human dignity, thereby fueling the spirit of individualism. Then there was Voltaire, a fierce advocate of freedom of speech and religion. His writings were often satirical and critical of religious dogma and oppressive regimes, promoting a culture of skepticism and questioning. These ideas, once considered radical, started to permeate society, influencing not just the way people thought, but also how they governed themselves. The emphasis on reason led to scientific advancements and the rise of democratic political structures. Individualism paved the way for human rights and civil liberties, while skepticism promoted a culture of questioning and reform. In essence, the Enlightenment was not just a period, it was a revolution of ideas. It was a time when humanity dared to step out of the shadows of tradition and into the light of reason, setting the stage for the modern world we live in today. The Enlightenment, with its emphasis on reason and individualism, was a critical step towards the modern world. The culmination of these ideas and changes led to a significant event in history, the French Revolution. But was it a result of these shifts, or a catalyst for more? The French Revolution, which began in 1789, was a period of radical political and societal change in France. It was fueled by Enlightenment ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The common people, tired of the monarchy's excesses and inequality, rose up, leading to the storming of the Bastille and the execution of Louis XVI. The revolution's impact was far-reaching, altering the political landscape of Europe. It marked the decline of absolute monarchies and gave rise to republics and democracies. The values and institutions it created still dominate French politics to this day. It's crucial to remember that the French Revolution was not just a standalone event. It was both an effect of the Enlightenment and a cause of future changes, including the rise of nationalism and the spread of liberal democracies. The French Revolution, a defining moment in history, was both a result of the changes of the early modern period and a catalyst for future transformations.